Good evening and welcome at Cavalcade Racing. First of all, I want to have everybody a happy Christmas. It's going to be a little bit different than normal. Different people here in the booth. That means mostly me in the booth. We do have Chris, who is at his family, still celebrating Christmas. So we do also see that in the racing. There's a little bit of less people on the track here for the Formula 2. But I'm still excited, so I'm looking forward to see what we can see over here. Snetterton, we do have at least 10 drivers here for the Formula 2 race. One thing that I do want to mention is that the former race winner and championship leader, Jake Ashe, is currently not here. So for everybody, a big chance to really get some good things going on. Currently, we're in the qualification, as you see below. Everybody is still improving their times. Of course, let's have a quick look. We see Rusty Pontenberg currently in first position. And you do see that this is an open qualification, so that means draft does play a role in here, and Melody Chance is making a really good part of that. This is RJ Mckenzie. Was very fast in our first race. Had an incident, and that's why he couldn't continue, but. Oh, and look at that on the back over there. I'll have a quick look if I can zoom in on this car. Love this really nice, well done paint from Peter Lee. I've talked to Peter before the race. He wasn't very happy with this race, had a lot of incidents. So was a bit scared of what's going to happen, but Peter is always safe, so we know what he can do, and currently he is trying to set a fast lap. Just coming here to that last corner. That's where the real action happens. If you can get here right on, and oh, yeah, and Peter tried everything, but you can see that didn't go as planned. We still have 4 minutes left, so he will have to continue. Here's RJ Mckenzie, and RJ Mckenzie just put up the fastest time, 2:08.3 seconds. If we look here at the best times, we're all very close. Top 5, Dan Pagowski, 2:09.1. Where is Dan? Currently on the track. He is making some headway. I think he's behind Nate Strules, and Nate Strules is quick. So curious if these guys can do something. We still have 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so there is time to improve. And of course, oh, look at that. Yeah, Nate Strules is really pushing him right now. Of course, we have Rusty Pontenberg is always here, is basically stuck to Formula 2, but has a really good chance to do something, because he is currently on a really fast lap, as the fastest section one on the first section, so that looks at least an improvement. He's currently second. Is he going to attack RJ Mckenzie? I'm curious. Rusty, is he 8:04? That is not quicker than RJ Mckenzie. And that means he's on that second spot, and I don't think he has time enough to improve. Let's see who does have time to improve. Oh, and while I say that, RJ Mckenzie put a 2:07 over there. Wow. He is really quick now. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Tim and Chris, watching currently, and all our other viewers, of course. I hope you guys have a great family days. And we can top that off with some nice racing. Always good to see. We have 12 people up here. Oh, and Johnny Gibelli, look at that. He is going up the ranking really quickly from nothing to anywhere in a beautiful Puma car. So that does conclude I think, the qualification. I'm not sure if they can finish it. It seems that they can finish at least their times. So let's see if we see some purple coming in. We have here Nicholas Mazza, who was improving, and Melody is also improving. Right behind there. So they can actually go up a little bit. The rest, I think it's pretty much done. So let's have a quick look how they take those last corners. Take a little bit wide, Nicholas Massa. Wants to make sure that he has a good entry over here. And oh, slides, but can hold that car. But that's going to cost him on time-wise. I think Melody does a better job on that. And I do see that RJ Mckenzie is improving even more. But Nicholas Massa, 5th position, and 4th position. Look at that. What is Melody doing? Melody is not improving that much. Oh, I was thinking she would improve a little bit higher. And RJ Mckenzie goes to the 206. Wow. Well, that means he is now second full quicker than the number 2, Johnny Gibelli. But how long is this qualification going to continue? Because RJ is going to get him in the 204s if he continue like this. Going to be interesting to see. Alright, and that was the qualification. Great. So let's have a quick look if we see that grid coming up. While I do not have a quick look, they probably are going to have a talk about the rules again. Now, RJ Mckenzie on that first position, 206.7 was the end result. Really great time. We have Johnny Gibelli from Texas, 1 second behind there. Dan Pagowski, really good time, 3rd position, 1.3. Nicholas Matza, we followed that lap. It was a quick lap, 1.3 as well. So that will be very close between those guys. And then we have Rusty, Greg, Nate Strules, Joe Zubo back 2.3 seconds from the number 1 position. We'll have to do some. We saw Peter Lee making that mistake. So he has to go all the way to the back, 9th position, and behind him is Melody Chance, Greg Montgomery, and Zach Snyder. So that is basically our whole list of drivers. Or do we have some more? It's always a big surprise up here. We do have Dave Lopresti and Lorne Sebastian, so that's 14 drivers up here. It's quite a lot. I'm excited to see what we will see on this race. Look at that, beautiful painted cars. So I'm not disappointed in the amount of cars that we currently see. And this for such a weird weekend with all these celebrations and holidays. Look at that, beautiful. I think we are getting ready. I see the lights going off. Or going on, better said so. They're all on red and they're off. Look at that, immediately everybody goes away. Oh, we see one car in the back not driving. Not sure who that is, but then and we see somebody coming out of the pit. Oh, that's immediately very interesting to see. Oh, a major accident over here. Who was that? That was Johnny Gibelli and Mckenzie again. Oh, bad luck for him. Let's have a quick look what happened. Mckenzie was driving over there on that third position. Oh, first position. Oh, he gets bumped from the back and then it's over. Oh, second time for him. That means that we have currently a new race leader. Nicholas Matza is coming here in the first with Rusty Pantenberg right behind him. And of course Nate Struls right behind there. If we look at the track map, we see that basically everybody is still very close together. Of course, RJ Mckenzie and Gianni Gibelli are a little bit far behind. But they are quick, so we'll see what exactly can happen. Curious what's here going to happen. Rusty is right over there, but he's a cool driver. He's going to make a... He's going to have a quick look over there, but he's not doing that much. Look at that, Peter Lee on the 6th position, already 3 positions up. So right behind him is Craig Montgomery, who's also 4th positions up. And after that, whoa! Who was that? That was... Gibelli again. Oh, he has no control over his car. We see Dan Pagowski also going into the pit. Alright, and we do see here that Rusty Pantenberg did make the move really nicely for Nicholas Massa, right on time over there. And Nate Struls is also going to have a quick look, but he can't do that. But these three are fighting very much, and that means for Peter Lee, who's on the 4th position, that he has a position to come back. Let's have a quick look. It's 2 seconds right now. Here comes Peter Lee, and Peter Lee right behind there is Craig Montgomery with Zach Snyder and RJ Mckenzie already. Look at that, RJ Mckenzie already back in the pack. Let's drive along with him to see how he does that trick. Takes full advantage of those. Yeah, let's have a quick look because he's gonna make a move over here. Look at this. We are getting. Look at that. In first position, second position, because he's gonna do that. Zach Snyder is going to make it really difficult on this corner, but I do think that RJ has the momentum right over there. Look at this. And there he goes. He takes that position back, and he's already on the 5th position. And you can see Peter Lee over there. While I say that, I do see that Melody Chance overtook Craig Montgomery. So he made a small mistake over there. Yeah, RJ is getting really quick, but Zach Snyder, don't think much about him, because look at this. He's really close over there as well. And if he can get the speed of RJ Mckenzie, that can really benefit them a lot over there. Peter Lee is in between those groups, and the distance does get bigger. I do see that those guys in the front well, not really working together, but at least are very fast and chasing each other. Rusty Pantenberg keeps the lead over there. Nate Struls on that 3rd position. He's just looking a little bit. But we've seen this before. this also means that you can save fuel. RJ Mckenzie of Nicholas Matza is really looking every time. And he is making a move over here. He can't just do it. These guys are ridiculously quick. You see position for position 7 here, Greg Montgomery fighting with Melody Chance. Getting here the slipstream, that could be beneficial. Look at this, how he catches up, but not enough for that corner, because that corner comes straight over here. You want to have a good exit. We see Nate Strules already going into the pits. That was very quick. Nate Strules has made a move to go into the pit. I missed that. Of course, being by myself is a little bit more trickier, but we do see that he's entered the pit over there. So pit stop strategies are here in place. Rusty Pontenberg is already coming over the line. I'm not sure what happened with Nate Strules. Let's have a quick look. Oh, Nate Strules had a big incident. Look at this, he was. Oh, he's just suddenly going off. I want to see that one more time, but then with a different camera view. Yeah, he goes just straight off over there. And that was the reason why he's into the pits. I didn't understand it, but that means that Rusty Pontenberg and Nicholas Matza are now in the front all by themselves. And Peter Lee on the 3rd position is trying to catch up with them. Will take him quite some while, and we do see that maybe with the help of RJ Mckenzie, because he's now making that move. And look at that, nice move. Peter doesn't defend that, knows that RJ Mckenzie is a lot quicker. Now he can benefit from that. So let's see, the number 3, RJ Mckenzie, had an incident, is now already 5 seconds behind Nicholas Matza, and he is gaining a lot and fast. So we'll see what happens over there. Here in the back we see on the number 13 Craig Sharp driving. Not sure what exactly happened, but doesn't look good for him. Right on the back over there. Luckily he does have some drivers in front of him, but let's have a quick look what Lauren Sebastian is doing on the 11th position. And while I say that, I see that Melody is full fighting with Greg Montgomery over there. So maybe that's a better view to have a quick look. But he's chasing him, look at that. Really getting close. Has to hold off. Yeah, and I do have to say that Greg Montgomery takes a really nice aim for that one. Nicholas Matza here on the 1st position, just overtook Rusty Pontenberg. Saw it coming and could barely hold on to that one. But RJ Mckenzie, look at that, 3.7 seconds. If this continues, then my AWS says that they're going to come back in at least 2 laps. Peter Lee can't hold on to him either. Nicholas is trying, but RJ Mckenzie is already driving away from him. 1.9 seconds over there. So the couple of fights that we do see here are Melody Chance with Craig Montgomery. Melody is getting closer and closer. Should make the move at one point, but is not ready for it right now. Beautiful paint from Melody. From everybody actually, but this one is one of my favorites. The simplicity really works well on this car. Alright, let's have a quick look at the front leaders, because they are going up here. And Rusty was looking, but he doesn't make that move. And I think that's wise. It's very, very long, so anything can still happen. Nicholas Massa, relatively new to our league here. But so far, so good. Can he do everything well? Because we do need a pit stop, but we do need to continue for 35 minutes. But the first 10 minutes, he was perfectly fine. He's driving a little bit away from Rusty Pontenburg. And while I say that, I see RJ Mckenzie going into the pit. So he's been pushing a lot of his car, and he is going into the pit right now. So that means Peter Lee gets the third position back. He's driving now all by himself. It's always very difficult. 5 seconds away from this group, Rusty Pontenburg and Nicholas Matza. Yeah, Rusty is just following along, letting Nicholas do the work. Don't see that Rusty is really a lot slower than Nicholas. It is really just following, not doing too much. And I do think they have to look out, because RJ Mckenzie is on the move. I think he is going to be the one that we really have to look out for. And where is RJ? RJ is currently on the 8th position, 2.9 seconds away from Dan Pagowski. And he's our quickest one on the track currently. Let's have a quick look at the best lap times that we see. Yeah, then we do see that RJ Mckenzie is 2:07. The only driver who can do that. We saw him in qualification on 2:06, so he can do that even quicker. But is he going to come back to Nicholas Massa and Rusty Pontenburg, who still need to pit? Because that's, of course, we have 2 pit stops in this race, and we only have done a couple of them. So let's see how that works out. Oh, and they're going both into the pit. Look at that. So that fight will continue when we're coming out. And I do see that Peter Lee is also going into the pit. So that leaves Craig Montgomery here. He can actually overtake everybody and run his lap on the first position. Always a good feeling. He has still some energy left, but I am curious who's going to go out quicker. And we do see that Nicholas Matza is going quicker. Maybe a little bit more fuel for Rusty Pontenburg. Here's Peter Lee also going out. Goes right behind RJ Mckenzie. RJ Mckenzie is on that 4th position, and he knows now what he needs to do. He needs to do 1.7 seconds, and then he is with Rusty Pontenburg and Nicholas Massa. Craig Montgomery is way in front of that, but that's not really fair because he didn't pit yet. So it is all to play for RJ Mckenzie. Rusty Pontenburg, he can't wait. He needs to push now. I hope he gets that message. Willy Wonka Racing. There's a lot of different racing. We also see him in our racing on oval. I've seen him many different cars. Drives a lot of different things and is very good in it. Currently he's following, and he's following Nicholas Massa a little bit closer. I do think he got the message. Because look who's behind there. This is RJ Mckenzie, and RJ Mckenzie is currently 1.5 seconds from Rusty Pontenburg. And while I say that, Rusty Pontenburg is here overtaking. Look at that, beautiful. Takes that inside line. So he got the message. He knows that RJ is coming and needs to push now. Nicolas Matza can't do much by just following, and does that exactly really well because he's really close to him. Always a danger over here. If the driver in front of you makes a mistake, and Greg Montgomery is going into the pits, but I'm curious if Nicolas Matza is making a move over here. Is he staying behind? Looks like he's staying behind. Knows that that's dangerous. Oh, but RJ Mckenzie can smell them over there. Oh, look at this. Side by side. Into that corner. Really well done by Rusty, who holds on that inside line. And nice move from Nicolas Matza, who tries it on that outside line. And now goes on the under over. Goes inside. Oh, they make it really nice and easy for RJ Mckenzie to go past. Because he's now 1 second behind them. But great entertainment for us. Look at that. 3 of them coming in here. While we see Melody in the back going a little bit wide. Is that Melody? Maybe not. Right, I do think that Nicolas is going to try it again. Don't want to go off here yet. It's going to be interesting. How does RJ read this? Let's have a look from his cockpit. Yeah, he's quick. How quick? 116. And oh, here we go. Nicolas Matza does the same move as Rusty Bantenberg earlier did. And that works over there, so we can see more from those overtakes. But currently, RJ is going to follow now. Yeah, this is going to be exciting. Because now with the 3 of them, this is going to be a real nice match going on. RJ is the quickest, but he does need to do this safely. We're halfway through the race. So anything to gain for. If you look at the lap times from Mckenzie, he's quicker everywhere. But it seems that it's a bit of it settled, or not. Is Rusty? No, Rusty does get a little bit difficult with RJ Mckenzie. RJ Mckenzie is trying to really get a good exit over here. He doesn't, so he will stay behind Rusty Bantenberg. Doesn't need to do it right here, but they will do it. They stay safe behind each other. Rest is driving over here from all of them. RJ completely coming back. Rusty just making a nice fight with Nicolas, but not too much. And here we go. So now, let's see what they can do. This is the corner where everybody overtakes. Is RJ Mckenzie going to do this? No, none of them are doing it. So let's have a quick look at Melody Chance over here with on the 5th position. You can see Peter Lee in the far distance. A little bit too far of a distance for my liking. And here's Joe Zubo. Look at this. Oh, Joe Zubo. Oh! Joe Zubo gets a really hard hit from Dave Lopresto. And that means that he needs to park that car. Well, welcome to the broadcast. I'm not going back to you anymore. That's horrible. Look at that. But we do see that Nicolas Matza is overtaking. And now RJ Mckenzie. RJ Mckenzie has a really great position over here. Takes that inside. And Rusty is strong. Rusty is strong. Oh, but not that strong. Look at that. RJ is sweeping over there in that corner. Beautiful. And keeps the inside now. Defends really hard. Rusty is going to try to do the under-over. But that's not working. Wow, look at that. So that was the first move of RJ Mckenzie. But he needs one more. Nicholas Matza. Nicholas Matza is now driving a little bit away. Can have a little bit of advantage over there. Who do we see behind there? Behind there, it's Peter Lee on that 4th position. 6.9 seconds. It's difficult to get to the top, but on the other hand, it's nice points here. 4th position for a track that you don't like. I would sign for that. 6th position, 4th position. You see Melody over here, Melody Chance coming a little bit closer. We're 21 minutes into the race. Oh, and I do see they're fighting over here now with the 3 of them, and RJ Mckenzie doesn't take that anymore. And he overtakes. Nice job. RJ Mckenzie, he belongs over there. He's on that 1st position. He was there. He's just the quickest. Look at this, he's the quickest over here as well. Oh, and makes a mistake, no way! Oh no, that was Lauren Sebastian who made the mistake, and RJ Mckenzie goes in. Look at that, well, what happened over there? I see Lauren Sebastian who has the similar colors over there, and I think he wants to get out of the way. Oh no! No, he just... Wow! Right in front of the leaders, and there comes the leaders. Oh, very exciting, but luckily safely done. And that means that we're back with Rusty Pontenberg and Nicholas Matza on the first 2 positions, and they're fighting really hard. Great to see them making a nice race of this. Rusty is going here on the outside quicker. Oh, Nicholas Matza was a little bit scared, but they drive it safely. Look at that. Inside line, outside line. 2 wide all the way. And they're still 2 wide. And here's where Nicholas Matza takes the inside line and wins the inside line. Nice move of him to overtake Rusty Pontenberg. But this also means they're going to be slow. Oh, and we see Rusty. Rusty, what are you doing? Rusty is stopping right over there. Well, that's going to cost him big positions. We see Peter Lee is overtaking. We see Dave Lepresto is at least unlapping himself. So Peter Lee is now here on the 2nd position. But they only still need to go in. RJ Mckenzie on the 7th position. He's the one that we really need to look out for. Because he really did already 2 pit stops. Oh, but that's too bad for Rusty Pontenberg. He's back on track. Look at that. Don't see much damage. Let's have a quick look if we can zoom in a little bit more on his car. His car looks completely fine. That's not going to be any worry for him. We just need to make sure that he's coming back on. What is Nicholas Matza doing? Nicholas Matza is driving through. All right. What's Peter Lee doing? Peter Lee is just going in. Peter Lee is going in. I knew it. Peter Lee is going in. Rusty Pontenberg is going in. Now we will see how much change that is for RJ Mckenzie. Look at this. He's already on that straight. That guy is so quick. I'm curious when he's going to be picked up at a different league. Because currently he is on his own. This is how quick he is. With incident, still on the 5th position. 2 pit stops done. He just needs to finish 11 more minutes. While I say that, we do have a quick look here at Melody Chance. 2nd position. 13 seconds behind Nicolas Massa. That does say something. Nicolas Massa is really quick as well. Has had a hard fight with Rusty Pontenberg, but yeah, didn't make a mistake like Rusty did. So now Nicolas can drive on his own. A little bit of peace of mind, I think. I do think that he will go in soon for a pit stop. And then we will see the real drivers, the real number one. And I think that is RJ Mckenzie because he is quick. Right, so Nicolas, beautiful car. Bad news for the people from Dave Lepresto fan club. He has been crashing on the back. Not sure if we'll see him back right here. But Nicolas Massa is currently on that first position. And he is going into the pit. Look at that. Pit limiter is on. And now it's waiting. Is Melody going to go in? Yeah, Melody is going to go in the back as well. And Craig Montgomery. Craig Montgomery is not coming in, but we've seen that before from him. We see Zack Snyder coming in. We see... Alright, so Peter Lee is coming over there, but RJ Mckenzie is already in the first corner. Look at that. So RJ Mckenzie is currently on the second position, 6.7 seconds behind Craig Montgomery, who still needs to pit. So that is a really major move that he made over there. 6 seconds from Nicolas Massa. What happened in the pit? Let's have a quick look, see if we can... Time-wise, no, not much difference. No, not much difference. Pit lane times, we can have a look. No, also not much difference. Yeah, Nicolas 2 seconds slower. But that's not where those 6 seconds came from RJ Mckenzie and Nicolas Massa. And that really means that we now have a big group, everybody a little bit separated. Looks on the map that it's okay, but I see that it's a little bit further away. Peter Lee here back on that fourth position. As Rusty Pontenberg right behind him now, so that could be an interesting match for our last race, for our last minutes. We still have 7 more minutes to race. If you want to do something, you need to be quick, and I think only Rusty is getting a little bit closer to Peter Lee over here. Oh, we see Melody, but Melody is overtaking a blue flagger. That's the number 30, Dave Lepresto. Good that he keeps on driving. He's currently on that 9th position. He's driving now behind Melody Chance. And yes, if he can use that draft when it is not slow, then that he could use that as an advantage. We see Craig Montgomery going in, and immediately already RJ Mckenzie going into the 2:07. That's the quickest lap so far. RJ Mckenzie. I don't see anything happening, but I saw that before and then he crashed. So let's see if that, but there's no one behind him now who can do that. So he's doing quite fine. There's a nice battle going on over here. Rusty Pontenberg is getting really close to Peter Lee. They know each other from, I think, season 1, where they both were driving. Peter Lee, who will be in the booth for Formula 1. Helping me out, but currently is here. Did you know that Peter Lee is actually a defending champion? First season, he won the championship by just being very consistent. And it's an interesting race to see. Maybe they can actually catch up with Nicolas Massa, 7.3 seconds currently. I think it's going to be a fight here on the to get on that podium. And if Peter can hold this on the podium, then, well, we're gonna hear about that for a long time. Look at this, they're getting really close. Yeah, Rusty is gonna find the right spot. And it is on that straight. We know. Look at that, here they go. Now, Rusty, he'd done it before here, but he's not. Is he doing it? He's coming really close. He's gonna have a look. No, he's not gonna have a look. No. Oh. Look at this, how close he gets there. Takes a different line than Peter Lee. And, oh, he loses a little bit. More than I expected. And that means he needs to fight back. He's still in the draft, so no problem for that. Look at this, here they go. Rusty's really quick already back. I think he's a little bit quicker than Peter Lee on this part. Gets the draft now, yeah, and that's gonna be painful for Peter Lee. Well, we do see Greg Sharp going into the pits. I think that is the last one that has to go into pit. Look at that. Rusty Pontenberg really takes the outside of that track. You saw the gravel coming up. Really to maximize those exits. Here into Palmer. Now, getting into that gearbox. We've seen that before. But he's not doing anything. He's just following Peter. Maybe he's waiting for the last lap. Oh, and we do see bad news for drivers or family from Greg Montgomery. He is okay, but he crashed in the back. Let's have a quick look what exactly happened over here. He's trying to overtake somebody over there, so also good. And what then? Oh! He gets hit from behind on the number. That didn't look very clean to me, but luckily I'm just a broadcaster, and all these things go to stewards who, well, at least pretend they know more about it and look at these situations each differently. Peter Lee is oh, whoa! Peter Lee was overtaken by Rusty Pontenberg. Let's have a quick look. Of course, in this corner, that's the favorite corner of Rusty Pontenberg. But okay, that's not the last corner that they had over there, so RJ Mckenzie had the quickest time again. Let's have a quick look how he does. Don't want to jinx him, but he's doing very fine. 10.2 seconds behind, in front of Nicholas Mazza. Who, by the way, does do an awesome job here by just being on that second position. We do see some fights now going on with Dan Pagowski and Dave Lepresso. Look at that. Don't know how they can catch up with each other. Dave Lepresto went off track. That's the reason why they're now into a little struggle over there. Makes everything a little bit complicated with all those lapped drivers, but here we see Nicholas Mazza on the second position. Just needs to finish this race, gets the points on the podium. Great. It's a long season, 13 races. You can 3 throw away. Well, this will not be one of them for Nicholas Mazza, because he's solid on that second position, although Rusty Pontenberg is getting really close. And I don't think Peter Lee is really attacking Rusty anymore. So this gives opportunities for Rusty to actually get a little bit closer. Do we see the racetrack? We see the racetrack. Arjen Mckenzie has won the race. Well, of course he won the race. Everybody knows that he won the race. We see Nicholas. We're waiting now for Nicholas Mazza. Nearly missed it. But here, look at this. Nicholas Mazza, second position. Great race for him. Rusty Pontenberg, Peter Lee. We see Melody Chains. Why is everybody moving away? Look at this, Jack Snyder making a sixth position. Or is that's Jack Snyder who comes over for sixth position. So everybody is coming to a split now. Normally a lot of people will always crash just to get rid of all those bad feelings. I have heard that there is an organization going on currently, so let's have a quick look if that actually is working. The first season that we drove in the Formula 2, we had a tradition to always do a parade lap. Just to be thankful for driving all together. And I do see up here that we have our trusty Peter Lee, Melody Chance and Rusty Pontenberg and all the other drivers coming not to a stop but celebrate each other and parade this great race. Awesome job from them. Don't see any results yet, but we can see them in the side. RJ Mckenzie on the first position, Nicholas Mazza second, Rusty Pontenberg on the third position, well deserved over there, and Peter Lee just not on the podium, but had a fun race for sure. I'm gonna talk all about it in our Formula 2 race because Formula 1 race because he will join me. And yeah, then we have, look at that, Melody Chance, Zack Snyder, Greg Montgomery, Dave Lupresti, 8th position, not bad for all the crashes that he had. Greg Sharp, Dan Pagowski, 10th position, 11 is Joe Zubo. Had that really bad incident over there. Look at this here, they're all driving the track. Curious what Peter's comments will be. Because he wasn't a favorite and I think he had a fun race. It looked very fun to me. Nate Strules, Johnny Gibelli, and yeah, those are all the two that didn't make it to the end. I do want to say, Tim Holmes, you were practicing really well. I would love to see you next time here. See how well your broadcast is. But look at this. Oh, and now we're gonna get some crazy things going on, good people. I'm not sure if my cameras are made for this, but look at that. Another tradition that we have in our races. And then it's time for us to say goodbye, or at least say have a little bit of a resting time. We're gonna go to our Formula 2 race, Formula 1 race. So I'm very excited to that. I hope you all wait, and I'll see you in I think 10 minutes. Welcome back, racing fans. I'm not by myself for this Formula One race. I have my co-commentator Peter Lee. Peter, welcome in the booth.
Hi Pim, it's great to be here. Snetterton 300. I think this is a real driver's track, and so it'll be fun to see what these Formula One drivers can do here.
Well, you're saying it's a driver track. You just driven it. You were in your 4th position. How was your race? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think my race was uneventful. I was, as you know, Pim, my last few races on this track haven't gone well. I've gotten caught up in various accidents, and so my goal was simply to finish the whole race and stay out of trouble, and I managed to do that, and I finished reasonably well, so I'm pretty happy with that.
It was we watched you a lot. I think you had an interesting race with all these fast people coming by. And while I say that about talking about fast people, I see Leo Oktarov currently doing a 2:06.7.
Wow. Yeah, that's his first flying lap. So that's a cold tire lap.
Yeah. So that will even go quicker, you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the 205s by the time he gets to his 3rd flying lap. I think they'll have time for 3 flying laps in this quali session. And as the tires warm up, as you know, in these Skip Barber cars, it takes a few laps for the tires to really get up to temperature, but the car gets much faster once that happens, and so I'm pretty sure Leo's going to get into the 205s.
That's impressive. I do see that again. We have that new driver, and we did looked up his name, Philippe Jetté, who is on a 2:06.9, 2nd position. I've heard that he was a really good driver in all the pub sessions. I don't drive in that kind of league in the Skip, so I never seen those people. But Michael Houwnik on the 3rd position, 2:07.
Yeah, and these are all first flying lap times. Those are all cold tire times, and so just watch those times drop on their 2nd and 3rd laps.
Yeah, and then of course we have our good old drivers who are there for 6-7 seasons. Look at this. We have Jeffrey Decker, 4th position. Is currently going into wasn't it called the bomb hole?
Yes, and the bomb hole is a tricky little turn. Actually, there's several turns here that are really tricky. They make you feel like a hero when you're driving the Skippy because you can really toss the Skippy around, but when you do that, it's slow. And so it's actually a finesse track. It just takes tons of courage and tons of finesse. And
tell us about that last corner where Jeffrey is driving now. How important is that? What do you need to do?
Well, where Jeffrey was just driving, you're sort of on a knife's edge. You're trying to point the car I do it with a combination of throttle and brake, and really thinking about that exit. And as you kind of come in, the car is never feeling quite settled. It's kind of shifting left and right. Both the front end and the rear ends are moving beneath your feet. But if you can do that consistently and do that well, and do it without scrubbing off too much speed on the exit, you can get the kinds of times that these guys are showing us. In fact, Jeffrey Decker in his 2nd flying lap is down to a 2:06.3, which is just incredible.
Yeah, and while you say that, I moved to J.R. Hoops, who is currently on the 11th position, but is also improving quite a bit.
Yeah, and so JR, as he comes around, now he's coming around turn 8, and this goes onto the back straight, the so-called Bentley straight. And this is going to be one of the prime areas that we'll want to watch. It's a draft zone with this long straight. And then it comes into some of the trickiest turns here. Really fast left-hander, turn 9 right here. And then you somehow have to get the car slowed down enough to make that right turn 10 that takes you to the bomb hole. And so watch for a lot of side-by-side action going into turn 9 and around turn 10 at the end of that straight.
Yeah, we did saw that in Formula 2, Rusty Pontenberg. I call it the Rusty Pontenberg move because I think he did that like a couple of times. And that's a great way to safely overtake. And we do see that Leo Oktarov is he is in the 205.9s. So he's currently still leading. Jeffrey Decker on the second position, and Michael McLeod is jumping in. And I do say Michael McLeod, but I mean Scott Bell is jumping in on the 206.3. Look at that. Scott Bell,
Incredible
third position.
time. Incredible. And then we have Mike Bowers, another great time, provisionally P6 with a 206.5. Incredible.
Yeah, I think
Philippe
everybody...
Jaffe just did a 206.35 to take P4.
Oh, wow. But Scott Bell, look at that. We have a lot, we have, I think, 10 drivers less than normal, which is okay in these kind of situations. The Christmas, by the way, Peter, happy Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. And, yeah, I think we have about a dozen drivers who probably have had a little bit too much eggnog yesterday, and so...
well, they're probably all watching at home, looking at these times and thinking, I could never do a 205. How is that possible? Because that's at least how I look at all these times. Man, very impressive.
My best ever time on this track in perfect conditions is about a 207.8. So I'm, a full 2 seconds. That's with hot, warm tires and low fuel. And so full 2 seconds off of the pole time on cold tires tonight.
Yeah, so we do see here the complete qualification, the complete grid. Leo Oktarov on the first position, Jeffrey Decker second, Michael Hounik third, Scott Bell fourth position. Oh, Michael Hounik, look at that. In the last second, bare second, he passed Scott Bell. He's moved to the fourth position. Still a great position. Number 5, Philippe Jette. Is number 6, Michael Clouds, Mike Bowers, Chris Stewart on 8th. Look at that. Chris Stewart, I had a really great battle with him on Thursday in an GT. Now he's driving here in the skip, and it does say something if you're becoming 8th in the Formula 1 race. Carl Dronke, and you have Carl Dronke behind next to you. I think that will be an interesting fight. Jason Berkheimer, Gurken de Meer, JR Hoops, number 12 over there. Let's see if we see some more drivers. Max Di Giacomo. Yeah,
I really don't see any slow drivers here, and in fact, if you just look, at these times, the top 9 are covered by 1 second, and then if you wanted to see coverage by 2 seconds, you're looking at the top 17 in this field.
Yeah, and look at that, Chris Daniel, 18th position. We saw him last season a lot in the Formula 2, always in the front, always fighting over there, and he's a little bit in the back over here. Curious how that will affect this race. Sammy Bridges, 15, always have to call him out. But what has happened with Peter Notwell? 23. What happened to him? Did he actually put a time on?
Yeah, I don't know if he actually qualified. But he's definitely a top 10 driver here, and so if he is in the race and didn't qualify, it'll be interesting to see him work his way through the field. And looking at Chris Daniel, his qualifying time was 2:08 flat, but in the practice session just ahead of qualifying, he was in the 2:06s, and so watch out for him also.
So that will be your job, Peter, to take a look how quickly they can go move on to the part. It's still going to be difficult to actually follow everything. We'll try to do our best. But we do miss Chris a little bit. I was happy that he was back in our booth.
Oh yeah, he just really makes it so much more entertaining, much easier, more fun for all of us. And Pim, this is the best way to watch a race, what you and I do, and especially when we're with Chris.
It's a lot of fun, I have to say. And still, I'm pretty impressed with the crowd that we got. Look at that. All those skips standing over there.
Now, one thing to watch out for here is turns 1 and 2, especially turn 2, the hairpin is is just a place that
Well,
has.
Peter, we're going ahead, so I hope that everything will go fine. We do see that Leo Oktarov is getting that first position. Nobody's trying to make any moves, but we will see a lot of two by side over here. Seems to go everything fine.
They brake and go from fourth gear down to first gear for this hairpin.
Oh, Nick over there, full in the brakes, but didn't hit anybody and can continue.
And it does look like the entire field has made it through the Montreal hairpin. Turn 2 just fine.
See Mike Bowers already looking a little bit on the inside with Michael McLeod. And I do see some moves over there, but everything looks really clean.
Yeah, Gurkan Demir is making a pass on Chris Stewart. Oh, it does look like Chris Daniel has spun going into the turn 4 hairpin, but I don't know that he's damaged. He's back on the track.
Yeah, it seems that he braked a little bit too hard, but I also don't see any damage, so that's good news. Look at this beautiful sight of all those skips. And this is where we were talking about that position that you can take. Do we see any positions overtaking? Currently not.
Yeah, I think everyone is recognizing that this is a 45-minute race. And there'll be probably 2 stops for fuel. And so there's no need on cold tires to do anything foolish going into turn 9.
Now we see Carl Dronke on the 8th position. He's really the backmarker of that first group. Look how close that goes.
Boy, yeah, you're right. So we have already now a lead pack of 8. With Leo Oftarov, Jeffrey Decker, Michael Howenick, Scott Bell, Philippe Jeté, Michael McLeod, Mike Bowers, and Carl Dronke. Oh, and...
Yeah, Carl Dronke is going for the insides, but he can't do that. And he holds that car very nicely done over there. We do see that Mike Bowers, did he drop a position? Oh, and there goes McLeod, looking on the inside of Scott Bell. Is making a really nice inside move. Look at that. Sticks it. And Scott Bell, is stuck over there because Mike Bowers also is making a move. We see Carl Dronke making a move. Look at that.
Now that turn 3 that they're negotiating right there is another one of these turns that is so easy to overdrive. You just want to be smooth, keep the tires quiet. The cars will look a little slow there, but then they'll just have all of the speed on the exit. Boy, Pim, where have we seen this story before? We have the lead pack of Leo Oftarov, Jeffrey Decker, and Michael Howenick separating from the pack.
Yeah, I've seen that before. You're right on that part. And most of the times it's Michael who will wait and Jeffrey Decker and Leo Oktarov who will start that fight. So let's have a quick look because we are coming on that long straight over here. Always a great view. What's going to happen? I see McLeod going completely the other way than everybody else.
It looks like McLeod might have yielded for some reason there. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Well, he's yielding very hard because he is missing a little bit that group.
Yeah.
You see Scott Bell over here on that 5th position trying to hold on to Philippe Jeté and Michael Howenick in front of that.
Yeah, that's a group of 3 behind Philippe Jeté, Scott Bell, Mike Bowers, and Carl Dronke. And, I think that they are going to be, in a way, able to work together. In the race, in this SF2 race, I found myself in the same position that Philippe is in, running in 4th, but all by myself. And it's a really compromised situation. The lead pack of 3, they're getting to draft with each other. And then, P5, 6, and 7, Scott Bell, Carl Dronke, and Mike Bowers, they're getting to draft with each other. Now, Philippe, is a little bit on an island by himself, unless he gets caught up here in a minute. does look like, though, the rest of the field has pretty much settled in to single file. There is all the way back to P10, Chris Stewart, and then there's a gap to the next group being led in P11 by Max DiGiacomo right now in P11. And that's a train of 8 cars led by Max DiGiacomo, followed in hot pursuit by Jason Berkheimer, J.R. Hoop, Sammy Bridges, Andrew Cole, Aaron Law, Steve Dewar, Charlie McCarty, and Benjamin Harris. No, Pim. Meanwhile, back up front, Leo is pulling out a gap now on Jeffrey Decker and Michael Howenick. He's maybe about 0.7 ahead.
Yeah, I do think it's not that much. We do get a long straight ahead here. Jeffrey Decker will make sure that he can use that draft to actually come back.
Yep. Yeah, for people who are new to the Skip Barber Formula 2000 cars, as the saying goes, these cars punch big holes through the air. And in fact, you get a draft benefit anytime when you're within 1.1 seconds of the car ahead. And it can be, especially on these two big long straights, the front straight, the center straight, and the back straight Bentley, the draft effect can be pretty dramatic.
And here goes Galdronke. Again, looks in the inside of Scott Bell. He's positioning his car really well, and then he can make that move. And I do think...
incident in turn 1 involving multiple cars. I'm not too sure. Steve Dewar, Jason Berkheimer.
I see Jason Berkheimer who slides out. And then, whoa, we see J.R. Hoops. We see, whoa, who's not involved? Sammy Bridges involved, Steve Dewar. I see Charlie McCarty. Andrew McCall. Oh, yeah, that's a big event. As you can see, one person slides out and the rest just can't avoid that anymore.
Yeah, and that's just what makes turn 1 here at Snetterton so treacherous. And, you know, Jason just lost the rear end a little bit. You know, it is true that once your tires are up to temperature, you take turn 1 flat out full throttle in 4th gear. But if your tires aren't quite up to temperature, that's exactly what happens. And then the chain reaction gets set off. Boy. And so we have Jason Berkheimer and Charlie McCarty currently being towed to the pits, and there may be others with damage limping to the pits.
Yeah, well, I think the whole part that I was mentioning, all those drivers have difficulties, but not Leo Octarov and Jeffrey Decker. We do see that Jeffrey really needs to hold on, and that works quite well over here. So he comes back, and they're trying to lose Michael Howenick. That's another thing, the tactic that they have over here. Make sure that Michael Howenick gets on the balance.
Just looking at the replay on that incident, I think we have Jeff Torbeck, Andrew Cole, Brian Perez, Steve Dewar, and Benjamin Harris, who all took damage or got caught up in one form or another. And so it'll be up to them to decide whether to keep driving and wait for the first pit stop for repairs.
I just had a quick look at Brian Perez. His car looks okay, and while I say that, I see...
Turn 2.
Let's have a quick look. We see Scott Bell making a move on... Is that Scott Bell? No. That's... Oh... Gurken de Meer, who actually hits Michael McLeod, and Scott Bell goes off there as well. Let's have a quick look how we can see that from Scott Bell's position. If I can do that...
Well, and then while we were just got done talking about how treacherous turn 1 is, the second most treacherous place on the track is turn 2 because of that concertina effect that you see there. And so it's just a place that is prone to nose-to-tail contacts exactly like that.
Yeah, you would think this is an easy track, easy things to do, but it's not. And we do see that Leo Oktarov and Jeffrey Decker are now having a 1 point second from Michael Hounek. So that's really, those two are now the ones to look out for.
Yes. Yeah, they've stretched out a 1.8 second gap over Michael Hounek, and then Michael Hounek has about a 4 second gap on Carl Dronke running in P4.
Yeah, Carl Dronke 5 positions up, so made a really good move in those first few laps. Philippe Chaté is dropped a little bit back on that 5th position and has those 3 drivers behind him. Mike Bowers, Gurkan Demir. I see Gurkan Demir going into the pit.
Yeah, and so the pit window is open, and so there will be, this is a 45-minute race, so there will be a need for 2 fuel stops, and so this may be the time. And also you don't know if there is any kind of wing damage or anything, and so you can also get a quick repair.
Yeah, that's the good thing of this race, that you do have those quick repairs. And while I say that, we do see that Sammy Bridge crashed right in the back. Let's have a quick look at what happened. He's driving there. A little bit too erratic. I'm not sure who was that driver.
Yeah, that was Max DiGiacomo.
Ooh.
And so that's that'll be one that the stewards may need to take a look at. It's very, very close. It's hard to tell if Max had overlap at the turn-in or not. It's very, very close.
Well, you always need to take care of each other, and I think that was not done over there. But we do see now here how big that gap is from those top 10 that we do have. They're all here on the straight coming in, and this is a major part. And while I say that, we do see that Philippe Chaté passed Carl Dronke, and Mike Bowers is right behind there. Yeah,
that group of 3, Philippe Chaté, Carl Dronke, and Mike Bowers, they are in their own battle. In a way, they, I think, are just thinking about P4 at this point. And it's a little bit of a chess match. You do have an opportunity in the technical parts of this course to lose people who are tailing you. At the same time, there's draft effect on these long straights, and so there's some chess that goes on in addition to really precise finesse driving.
Yeah, and we do see, look at this. Look at Carl Dronke and Mike Bowers really taking the edge over there. And you see the grid going up. It's interesting to see how maximized they use that track.
That turn 2, you come around and it's another one of these, you can have fun and you can drift around that turn, but it's so slow to do that, and it takes so much patience just to keep the tires as quiet as possible coming around that turn 2 hairpin.
I do see that I don't know how, but Sammy Bridge came back up and is now right behind Scott Bell, and right behind there is Sammy Bridges, and we do see that Jason Berkheimer crashed one more time in the back. He's all by himself, so I think that's just a simple slide. Yes, that's just a simple cooking over there. He will be on the back on the 21st position. And Sammy Bridge is getting really close to Scott Bell.
Yeah, that's one of the closer battles on track right now. And Sammy's really looking to see if he can get a good run here out of turn 8.
Sorry, I did move to Carl Dronke because I thought that Carl was making a move, but he's not. So is Sammy Bridge going to make that move? Same position, same parts.
Yeah, it's looking. You can just see the gap closing here due to the draft, but not enough track on the straight to do that. They'll have to wait for another lap.
Well, there's another straight coming straight over there, so we won't have to wait that long. And you see that on Carl Dronke right now, who's trying to lose a little bit. Oh, and they're both going into the pits. Look at that. Both into pit. Mike Bowers is not going to pit. Leo Oktarov is in the pit. And Jeffrey Decker is continuing the drive. So here we have some new tactics.
Yeah, we can breathe a sigh of relief. There was controversy last season at this track when the leaders, including Leo Oktarov and Jeffrey Decker, were involved in a pit entry incident. And
let's bring that one more time up for Leo. That's a good one to remember.
Well, in fact, it is something we talk about every week because, Leo has always had such a pace advantage on the field, but the one area last season where maybe he wasn't as good as some of the other drivers was in pit stops. But he's really improved that part of his game, and he's just such a complete driver now here in Skippy, Sunday Night Skippy.
Yeah, we see them all going into the pit while I can't get my eyes off Andrew Cole and Jeff Torbeck here. Really nice part that they're fighting out. But of course we want to know, is Jeffrey Decker going to pit? Or is he going to extend his drive even longer? He did feel safe quite a bit after Leo Oktarov.
And this could give him an advantage in a little faster pit time, although that shouldn't show up until the second pit stop because most of these drivers will, unless Jeffrey wants to try an undercut of some sort by short fueling, will usually fuel to the max in their first pit stops. That would be typical, unless Jeffrey somehow wanted to get an advantage and try to get ahead of Leo by short fueling here. So we'll have to watch to see what happens.
So Leo is going into the bomb hole while Jeffrey Decker is going into the pits over here. Look at that. So he's going to come in. Nice pit entry.
Meanwhile,
Mike Bowers is also going in.
Yep. So Leo is going around the Corum. This is a big sweeping right-hander. And now this is one of the most high finesse corners in the entire scene here. And Leo does beautifully there, uses all the track. And it's rocketing down the front straight. And Jeffrey Decker has been released from his pit box, is back on the track. It will be very close coming into T1, but it looks like Leo has all the momentum, and in fact has a bit of an advantage, maybe a full 1 second gap now on Jeffrey Decker. Wow. We have in P13 Jason Berkheimer. This has not been his day. It's had an incident. Boy.
Yeah, I'm not going to go back there. I will trust him. Let's have a quick look at position number 5. We see Carl Dronke fighting with Mike Bowers and Philippe Jeté. I think that's the battle in the beginning is still the battle right now. While I say that, we do see in the back Jeff Torbeck fighting over here. But who is Jeff Torbeck not fighting? Jeff Torbeck is with Brian Perez, Steve Durr, Aaron Law. They're all over there. Look at that. Nice, 4 of them.
Wow. And Pim, I know we have enough to look at here, but in P7, Gurkan Demir and Michael McLeod are in their own battle, and Michael is just pouring on all sorts of pressure on Gurkan right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what an incident does with Michael McLeod, but you don't want to see Michael McLeod angry. And I think we see Michael McLeod angry right now. And this is going to be very interesting to see if he can make a move. He is getting a little bit closer, but not too much. And then
getting a great prep.
Yeah, he's going to throw it in there. He's going to throw it in there.
Yes, this is too wide going into turn 9. Oh, and can't quite.
Okay, he's not that mad because he does keep it safe and keeps that onto the track. But he will try one more time. And while we say that, look a little bit ahead, we see Philippe Jeté, Carl Dronke and Mike Bowers. Carl Dronke is everywhere. Straight onto that back.
Oh, and Carl got a great exit out of that final turn 13. And is going to...
Not good enough, not good enough.
Yep.
I think that's really calm thinking, okay, I'm not going to make that move over here. We're
And I
not
don't
going
know
to
what
lose
it
too
is,
much.
but I also find that the draft effect on that front straight isn't as strong for whatever reason as on the back straight. And I don't. It feels like you should get it, but it doesn't quite work out as well for some reason.
We do see that Michael McLeod has made his move over to Gurken de Meer, but Gurken de Meer does say no and closes that door. Look at that. It's the Perez of our league, and they're really fighting hard.
I think the thing to watch here is, so in this move, Michael is going to try to do an over-under and see if it works. And I think really his best opportunity will be on that back straight that they're approaching pretty soon here.
Well, this is the Hamilton corner, but Michael McLeod wants to go in there, but he's still thinking about safety, and he knows. Look at this, after this Williams corner, then we have a long straight, and he's basically eating them over there.
Yeah, it looks like Gurken got a great exit from turn 8 there, and so I don't know if Michael's going to...
Yeah, I know he's going to try it one more here, or at least he's going to make it difficult.
He's going to get a great toe from the draft, and he has
makes
done
that
it.
Move. Yeah, makes that move really nicely. Safe move. Hey, but what about Jeffrey Decker? Jeffrey Decker is really getting back to Leo Oktarov. His times are getting better, and he's no, Jeffrey.
Oh, that cost Jeffrey Decker what, about 0.4 of a second right there.
What did I have done?
Yes. What did you do?
Oh, this was a classic Chris Morrell.
But there's a great battle brewing here for P13, right now being held by Aaron Law, but Steve Dewar and Jeff Torbeck, Brian Perez in very hot pursuit. Aaron's holding his own, but you just get the sense that Steve and Jeff are just waiting for the... Oh, and it looks like Steve is going to try to do an inside pass here in turn 1.
Nice move.
Beautifully done.
But it's difficult because here you have to draft again.
Yeah.
You lose the draft. So... Door shut. I do see that Brian Perez is missing a little bit that boat. Curious if he comes back to them.
Yeah.
But
if there's more battling here, that should make that three-car trio a little bit slower, so that should give Brian a chance to catch up.
Let's have a quick look at the front, because we do still have that fight for position 4. Philippe Jeté, Carl Dronke and Mike Bowers. Mike is just, he's not going to make a move till 20 minutes or 10 minutes before the last lap.
Yeah.
But Carl Dronke is making his life difficult. Look at that.
So we have about just under 22 minutes remaining, so we're past the halfway point in this race. Everyone will still have to pit one more time for fuel.
And we see a big battle going on here with Sammy Bridge and Max Di Giacomo. Sammy is choosing the right side and staying behind him for the moment. But I think on the straight they will have a fight again. And of course, when I say that, we'll have to go back to Carl Dronke, because the Carl Dronke makes the move. Mike Bowers makes the move. Look at that. 1-2.
Wow. You just on the edge of your seat when they go side by side in that turn 1.
And you would think there are like only 23 drivers or 22 drivers that are on the track. It's not that difficult to follow this. It is.
Wow.
All right, let's have a quick look. Where's Scott Bell? Scott Bell dropped 6 positions. He's currently on the 10th position over here. And I see Michael McLeod has some issues to get on the track, or he's just exceeding track limits a little bit.
Yes.
Trying to get...
Very easy to do here, yeah. Looking back at that battle for P13, Steve Dewar now has managed to pass Aaron Law, and now is holding P13. But of course, it's a trio with Steve Dewar, Aaron Law, and Jeff Torbeck.
Yeah, and Jeff Torbeck is going quite hard into that corner. Hope he can follow up on that and make a position on, who is that? Aaron Law, I think, in front of him. Ooh. But while we say that, Jeff Torbeck made a small mistake over there. And Steve Durr is making a mistake over there as well. And that means that it's Aaron Law who's just suddenly goes ahead big time.
Yeah. It's unusual to see that kind of little hiccup there, but that is giving Aaron Law some free space. In fact, about 0.8 of a second over Steve Dewar now, so a little more security there in P13.
Yeah, I just went to the front. Leo Otaro is doing still the same. We see Michael Hounek on the third position, and Carl Dronke is fighting with Philip GT and Mike Bowers over here. But yeah, we've seen that from the first minute till now the last minute. Because they're just gonna keep on going.
Well, in fact, Leo Uptroff now has opened up a 2.5-second lead over Jeffrey Decker, which is incredible to think about. And of course, Jeffrey himself is running about 3.5 seconds ahead of Michael Hounek. And so, those first three positions have really separated from the rest of the pack, but they've also separated from each other. Meanwhile, that battle for P4, Carl Dronke, Philippe Jeté, and Mike Bowers, they are stuck together like glue.
Yeah. But we also know that this is going to be till the end. Oh, and when I say that, Mike Bowers goes, it looks like goes off. But what's this? He doesn't even lose time.
One of the things I noticed is this is also a track that is more fuel load sensitive. In other words, as the fuel burns off and the car gets lighter, you can do more. And there's going to be an attempt here. No, there won't be. So you start pushing the car a lot harder. And Pim, you and I both know what kind of trouble you can get into when you start pushing the car.
Oh yeah, and look at this. We do see that is Max going to make a move over here on semi-bridge? No, he's not.
But that is the prime spot. That braking in for turn 9. If you can somehow get inside position and hold it together for turn 10, that's the place to do it.
I don't think he can do it over here. I see them having a lot of speed, and I do see that Michael McLeod and Gurken de Meer go in.
Yep, and Charlie McCarty as well. Yep.
Interesting to see that. You would think that they would have a different strategy all the time together. I see Scott Bell also going in.
Yeah.
That means...
Interesting. Yes, the window is just barely open. We still have 16.5 minutes left in the race. So it's a little bit early, on the early side in the pit fueling window, but probably just enough you can take in this second pit stop.
Well, if Scott Bell went in, I'll believe that I've never seen him running out of fuel. So yep. I think we're okay on that. He's currently on that 15th position. In front of him is Gurken de Meer and Michael McLeod. Michael McLeod is running away a little bit from Gurken de Meer, so I'm curious where those two are going to end.
Yep. Benjamin Harris is now in the pits. On the pit fueling strategy, though, Pim, it is a little bit riskier here to pit early because this is a longer track than usual for Skip Barber Formula 2000 cars. It's almost 3 miles long per lap. And so, if this timed race goes one extra lap, due to the leaders being that fast, it's much easier to run out of fuel on this track.
All right. Well, I'm curious. We'll see some spectacular things.
Oh,
Currently,
looks like Takamo is making the move on semi-bridges on that back straight. He got a great toe coming up turn 8 and is easily making the pass going into turn 9.
yeah, and he will take that one back. And we do see that Leo Oktarov goes into the pit while Jeffrey Decker actually continues. So, again, a different strategy. Michael Hounek goes in. We see Paul Dronke going in.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And just a reminder to viewers that the point system for Skippy Formula One does reward bonus points for leading laps in the race, and so part of the calculation that Jeffrey Decker might have here is to earn that bonus point.
But didn't he already have that bonus point? I don't think if you just have Jeffrey Decker and Leo Oktarov driving, then they're basically earning those points quite easily. We do see that Leo Oktarov is now in the 5th position.
But I think in a race like this, where there may be a relatively smaller number of laps, maybe 21 laps, something like this, it's also a little easier to earn the bonus points for leading lots of laps. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
All right, we do see that the fight on 3rd position, current 3rd position between Veleb Chete and Mike Bowers is going quite hard. It's actually for position 2. Look at that, Mike Bowers is in front of him. Curious when they come back. Oh, look at this. Is he going to make a move? Looks like it. But can't make it. No, goes back to the line.
Yeah, I felt several times that I wish that back straight were just another 100 yards longer.
Alright, let's see what Jeffrey Decker does.
He's just coming around the last.
He's full on speed, but he goes into the pit. Look at that. Goes into the pit.
So now all eyes on Leo Ovcharov, who is coming around Bombhole and Coram now. Philippe Jeté also has gone into the pits.
Jeffrey Decker is standing still. So that's now where we're aiming for. We see everybody else going into the pit as well. Chris Stewart comes here into the pit, and here we see this is current champion coming out, but he's going a little bit slower. Jeffrey Decker and Leo Oktarov. This is going to be the corner. Leo Oktarov has the speed over there. Wow.
Yes.
But
it
does
look like Jeffrey Decker. Yeah, Jeffrey did manage to make up some time.
Yeah, definitely. And he is back into that draft, so if he can fully take advantage of there. Look at that, we have Sammy Bridges on the 4th position right behind him. And Mike Bowers scores also an extra bonus point if he comes over finish line, because he's now 1st position.
Yes. And Jeff Torbeck has just finished his second refueling stop. Yeah, we do see Jeffrey Decker seems to have come out a little better than Leo Ovcharov in that second pit stop. And, as we were saying, the benefit of fuel saving from draft early in the race might have made it possible for Jeffrey to get by with less fuel on his second pit stop.
Well, that's now all gone, and now he needs to focus on holding on to Leo Oktarov, and it looks like Leo has set a new speed, because Jeffrey can't hold on. Is he gonna lose Leo?
Pim, I want to see if we can look back at the battle for P11, currently held by Scott Bell, but Max Giacomo. Really hot in pursuit as they're coming onto this back straight. I don't know if Max has got enough of a launch. The tornado doesn't look like it.
He does. But look at this, how he's steering. Every time he's moving his wheel. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder what that does. boy, Max really closes in turn 10.
Mike Bowers is going into the pit. Sammy Bridges is going into the pit. So we do see the regular people on the front. Leo Octaro, Jeffrey Decker, and Michael Hounik. Max is getting really close into Scott Bell. I think they both need to pit, huh? Ooh, Scott Bell's losing the car over there on the outside. Can save that, and both don't go into the pit.
Yeah, my notes say that they have already completed their second refueling stop, and it does look like Max has gotten a great tow coming out of that final turn. It'll be interesting. They're going side by side in turn 1.
Yeah, and also Sammy Bridges is getting close in there as well. Just came out of the pit and immediately starts battling as well. Scott Bell, hard defend over here. Hard defend. Look at that. Nice move. Close that outside now.
And it looks like
really,
Max.
Max had no choice. Scott Bell closed that door really well. That's how you race these passes. Let's have a quick look at position number 5. Mike Bowers is driving along with Philippe Jeté. Carl Dronke right in front of them. It's a little bit further than it happened. Of course, when we talk about that, we do see that. Is Sammy Bridge overtaking? No, he's not overtaking. All right, back to Mike Bowers and Carl Dronke.
Actually, if we can go to Gurkan Demir and P9, it's looking like he was just side by side, and Chris Stewart has managed to get around Gurkan Demir. Now going
nice.
into turn 9. Yes. And so that puts Chris Stewart in P8 and Gurkan Demir in P9.
Chris Stewart, that was exactly where he started the race, so well done in that top 10. But we're not done yet. We still have 9 more minutes, and Gurkan Demir right behind him, but I see a lot more drivers. Scott Bell's there, Max is there, Sammy Bridges is there. But Jeffrey Decker is getting closer to Leo. I know it's only 1/10, but hey. That's currently what we can expect from those two.
Yes, absolutely. You know, the draft is going to really help Jeffrey here, and so, you know, a classic tactic here is to just try to stay close, and on the last lap or maybe second to last lap, try to make that.
We will hear in the after talk booth from Jeffrey that he couldn't hold on, and he was just holding on to Jeffrey. But he has a tactic over here. I don't think we're done yet. I think there will be one more fight going on. I do see in the back we see Mike Bowers getting a little bit closer to Carl Dronke. He is really into that draft, and Philippe Jeté is really missing that draft right on the moment. He's pushing his car to the limit. I'm not sure if he's able to get there.
Yeah. And then, you know, looking back at P8 again, doesn't look like Gurkan Demir is giving up on that P8 with Chris Stewart, and so they are just nose to tail here. And again, it's always exciting to see them come out of this turn 8 here onto the straight, just to see who gets the better launch. And it's looking like Chris has done a great job there and is going to be able to hold his position.
All right, we're looking actually to Sammy Bridges, and basically that whole fight in front of him with Max Di Giacomo and Scott Bell. Scott Bell is holding that 10th position quite strong on the moment. I don't see them make any move.
Right.
So well done. Jeffrey Decker, by the way, did the fastest time now. It's 2:05.0. That's the quickest time in this race, right behind Leo Oktarov.
Well, and there you can see what the draft effect can do, and so this is really going to make it interesting at the end.
Yeah, and the draft is also helping Carl Dronke, because he's now getting really close to Mike Bowers. Mike Bowers didn't make a nice pit stops and is now in that 4th position ahead of Carl Dronke. But and I think even Philippe Jeté is coming back on that 6th position. And they're starting to fight now.
Philippe Jeté is definitely making up ground here, and I think you have it diagnosed exactly right. As Mike Bowers and Carl Dronke battle more and more, it's really allowing Philippe to close up here. And
and do repeat on the next thing, because we see Scott Bell getting passed by Max Di Giacomo. Sammy Bridges is looking, so I think that's a copy, because is Scott Bell going in here? Is he going to make that move? No, he can't make that move. How would you describe Scott Bell's car?
Yeah.
For me, that's like Mondrian or something. Hey, that's a Dutch painter, man. I immediately recognize my style. He's a danger dad. I'm always curious what he means by that.
I'll have to ask my wife. She was a painter before she retired. Back up front him, Jeffrey Decker is now right on Leo Ovtcharof's gearbox. And as they come around the start-finish line here, we will have just 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, but I'm going back to Max and Scott, because look at that. Max does take the overtake. I think for Jeffrey, we just need to go back in the last lap. He's going to make that move right over there, and then we'll see if he can actually do that.
Philippe Jeté has gone into the pits.
Why?
He must be short on fuel. It's very easy to do if you don't have that extra 3 miles worth of fuel. Now getting back to Max Di Giacomo and Scott Bell. Scott Bell has now gone side by side with Sammy Bridges.
Someone's going to cry over here. Someone's going to cry. And look at that. Look at that. Oh, Sammy Bridges, the pizza man, is going on the outside. He's going to get a good run here.
Boy, look at this. Pim, I can't tell you how hard it is to make that outside.
Leo Octarov crashed. Leo Octarov crashed. What has happened? Look at this.
Oh, wow.
All right, I want to see this. Leo Octarov made that. What is he doing? Oh.
And Hamilton, he just caught a little too much of the grass on the inside of Hamilton.
Look at that. Jeffrey Decker didn't even have to make that move. Is now. Oh, wow. This is changed, and this is a nice way for the championship. Because Jeffrey Decker is suddenly 8 seconds ahead. And, well, we're going to see that even Michael Hounik is coming very close to Leo.
Yeah. Wow, I have not seen that before. The inside of Hamilton. I didn't see it coming. You see those bollards, those sticks, and you just go right through those sticks, just exactly like Leo did.
I am very curious. We were looking at the fight with Scott Bell and Max Di Giacomo and Sammy Bridges now. And they're both going to take a look at this. This is going 3 wide. They were going 3 wide into that corner. It's not possible. It is possible. Sammy Bridges. Oh,
it looks like they had real contact.
But this is really nice. And Scott Bell takes that inside line. They're not done yet. They're not done. It looks like Scott Bell is taking that inside line. I'm curious how that will end up here.
Yep. Quick update is Leo Ovtcharov has gone into the pits. I don't know if he's low on fuel or suffered damage, and Jeffrey Decker has received white flag. Last lap of the race.
Wow, and while we say that nearly Max crashed right over there with Scott Bell, who had to save, and this is the big chance for Sammy Bridges, who can run away. But let's have a quick look at Jeffrey Decker. All right, I am really curious about what he was going to plan in that last lap, and we will never see that because he just doesn't have to do that anymore. Michael Hounik is 11 seconds away. Mike Bowers is right behind there. Carl Dronke is fighting Mike Bowers. Look at that. That's the biggest fight that we're going to see right now.
Yeah, and Leo Ovtcharov has fallen down to P6, and it'll be interesting to hear from him. But he may have just needed that splash of fuel to finish this race.
Or he was just a little bit damaged and wanted to get out of there.
Yep.
Also possible. Will be a disappointment again in the Lewis Hamilton corner.
Boy,
So,
Carl Drunke and Mike Bowers are just going at it.
Well, they're going at it, but Mike Bowers is on the losing side because Carl Drunke made this, and isn't it the last lap over here? So that's a great move. Let's see Jeffrey Decker coming over the finish line. All by himself. Look at that.
Wow.
But it will be more interesting to see if Carl Drunke can take that second position, or is Mike Bowers going to make that move? No, he can't make that move anymore, and we'll see Carl Drunke taking the second position. Great work from him. Mike Bowers, third position. And there we see Michael Hounik. What is happening to him? Michael Hounik is out of fuel. Michael Hounik is out of fuel, and that's why Michael McLeod can take that position. Leo Octaro on the sixth position. Birkin de Meer is coming over there. Chris Stewart, 8th position. And then we have Sammy Bridges is also a little bit slower, but is getting there right on time. And there we have Scott Bell, 10th position. Great way for him.
Max Giacomo, 11th. Philippe Jete in 12th. Steve Dewar in 13th. You know, this was a race where we did see the long track come into play with fuel. Several of these drivers had to make a third pit stop for a splash of fuel.
I am not sure what happens over here. Benjamin Harris comes straight over to the line. That's Chris Daniel coming here, and that is basically our last driver, Aaron Law. Has anybody seen Aaron Law? Will the parents of Aaron Law report? Oh, here he is, coming over the finish line, number 18. And that was our race. All right, Peter, what's your first thought?
Wow, I thought it was a crazy race. Who would have predicted all of this would happen? I mean, maybe predicting Jeffrey Decker as a winner is not too hard to do, but you know, all of the, especially late race kind of things that happen, incidents, incredible passes in the most difficult corners like turn 1, and then late splashes for fuel, and then Leo Ovtcharov going off track in Hamilton of all places. Just crazy. It just shows you what happens at a track like this.
Yeah, I do have to say it's not the year of Hamilton, so maybe that was already an indication. But yeah, no, it was an interesting race to see. I would love to hear from those guys. So I'm really looking with one eye to Discord to see if we get some people in. I would love to hear what Jeffrey Decker, because I do have to say Leo Octarov basically robbed us from a lost battle with Jeffrey Decker. I would have loved to see that move. What is he thinking? How would he have done it?
Yeah. And did he run out of fuel anyway?
Yeah, that's also an interesting one.
Yep.
We can actually have a quick look when he entered that pit stop. What he did over there.
Mm.
No, he didn't take any pit. He had a little bit of damage in the back, and that's why he actually went back. He didn't want to take any risk on that.
I see.
Which does make sense, and he did save quite a bit on that, to be honest. Because if you look at the end results, we see Jeffrey Decker on the first position. Well done, congratulations, former champion, and he is back on the road. That will make a big impact for the championship. We've Carl Drunke on the second position. Breaking Bad Motorsports does a really good job on scoring the points over here. And then we have Mike Bowers, Michael McLeod, Michael Hounik, and then on the sixth position, Leo Octarov. But we want to know, Jeffrey, what did you have in mind for that last lap?
Last lap, I mean, I was mostly just shocked. So I was just like, don't make a mistake, man. I saw like Michael somehow dropped out of P2, and I was just like, all right, I don't want to join these guys. Like, we've been running in the podiums, everyone's dropping out of it. I just need to stay here. So yeah, no, I mean, super unlucky Leo. That Hamilton is the corner that he kind of lost it in. It's such a tough one if the car goes there. And I feel extra bad because like I wasn't really sure where to go, and I think we had like a little bit of contact as I squeaked by him, and I think that gave him damage. Otherwise, I think he had
you
P2.
actually turned him around. You actually turned him around a little bit more, and maybe you had a little bit of damage. But yeah, I think this was all to gain for. But I am curious because I was thinking you're preparing. You were setting it up for that last lap. What did you had in mind? Where would you have gone in that last lap?
So actually, it was going to be the straight. The straight was the only. I would have probably had a peek into turn 2 just to try to like reduce the delta as much as possible, but it really would have been down the back straight and into that tricky left-right. And it's such a. I mean, Leo's basically an impossible person to pass, especially on a technical track like this, and all these corner complexes are just hard to make a pass as well. So. It was a coin flip. I think he definitely had the advantage just because he had the pace advantage, obviously the whole race. But yeah, no, it was going to be on the straight. It's actually, I think I got lucky on that second to last lap when he got loose, because I actually backed up a little bit to try to figure out like a good distance, just give myself a little bit of space. And I think like if I hadn't done that, it would have been a rough one. So yeah, no, I don't know. I got super lucky though. Like after the first pit stops, Jeffrey, and I lost him the second stint, I thought he was gone.
Jeffrey, we don't want to hear that anymore. You are competing with Leo in a very good way, and for me, it's great to see when you came back to the track and you knew that you could have him, and this is a victory that you well earned, and make the championship a little bit more exciting. So for me, all to gain for. We have someone else here in the booth as well, Mike Bowers. You had an amazing fight with Carl Dronke, basically from start till finish. How was your race?
Mike, I think
Mike is still muted.
Yeah.
And that means he can unmute himself if he is still there. But
Hey, Mike, I think you're off mute now.
There I go. Yeah, I was suppressed for a minute. Yeah, I had a fun race. But
so tell us all about the fight with Carl Dronke. I think you guys went back and forward the whole time.
Yeah, for a while, Carl was really quick actually, and Felipe was really fast. So I just decided to cruise because we had lost Michael, and I didn't see any sense on fighting. So I was just kind of hanging out, cruising, and saving a ton of fuel, which I did. And then at the end, I grossly overfueled the car. I knew we were going to go 22 laps. I could have went 23. So I messed up, but I had a really good fight with Carl, and I didn't get much practice this week. I only did one public race, and I don't know, I probably had 60 laps before tonight, maybe. And fighting with Carl was fun, and I totally forgot about the outside going into the chicane, that works better than holding the inside. So I felt like a dolt when I was done, but Carl did a great job. He never really made a mistake.
No, Carl did an excellent job, and you both did a really good job. It was a crazy fight, different than up front. Have you seen Leo? What went through your mind when you saw Leo turn around?
I have a feeling, because I calculated the race, and it was on the very, very edge of being 22 laps. And I figured we were going to go 22. And in fact, I was almost certain that we would. So I knew there was going to be some people running out of fuel. And I banked that. And sure enough, people ran out of fuel. But I was a little surprised. Leo's been on the ball about having fuel. I knew Jeffrey would make a mistake. And for a second, I thought Carl might have been saving some fuel to the very end when he was behind me. So I don't know. It was a little surprising to see both Michael and Leo kind of drop off of that. So
oh no, Leo had a small incident. That was the reason that he had to go in. I don't think there was any fuel strategy on that.
That's a little different then. Wow.
Yeah. I guess exactly.
Well, I guess I got a Christmas present out of the deal.
Exactly. Well, it's good to see the broadcast. So please rewatch, and you will see what exactly happened and why you came onto this podium. But I don't care how it happened. It happened, and you're sitting there, four positions up on that podium. So well done for you. Well done for Carl Dronke, and of course, former champion Jeffrey Decker. You're going up for a second one. I don't think many people have done that. So that will be exciting to see if that if you can make that against Leo.
Cheers, man. Yeah, it'll be tough. I think, like, I know you guys don't want me to say I got lucky today, but Leo doesn't make many mistakes, so I still feel it.
You know, I don't think either of you were lucky at all, because this was a track where everyone was busy the whole race. I mean, up and down the field, and when you guys have a chance to watch the broadcast, you'll see that. So I think everyone really earned their positions today.
Cheers, man. Yeah, it seemed like it was a fun race. I definitely can't wait to go back and watch it. I really appreciate you guys doing this as always, because it's always a fun watch.
Now, I want to do a shout out for your family, Jeffrey, for your wife, because she's always there and she's always giving you to us for these 2 hours. So you don't have to do that shout out. Do you have any other shout outs?
I mean, I gotta throw Lando the puppy in now. I have an official Lando sweater, a custom sweater that my wife got me for Christmas. It's pretty great, so, you know, I gotta shout him out. He's actually, I haven't heard him banging on my door during the race, so maybe that helped me keep my head in it. But yeah, again, just you guys as always, everyone who watches. You know, I know Team Bell is always in the house, but all the other loyal viewers as well, and just the whole league. Yeah, it's super fun. And then obviously shout out to Leo. Super unfortunate. Yeah, he definitely at the very least deserved to be on the podium. So yeah, I got a feel for him there.
We got a feel for him, but on the other hand, it's great to see that Mike Bowers was on the podium.
Most definitely, Mike, yeah. Big shout out to Mike and Carl as well for actually bagging it.
Mike, do you have any last things you want to mention in this broadcast?
Thank you guys for doing the broadcast. It was fun to watch last week while I was out of town, and congratulations to Jeffrey and Carl. And happy belated Merry Christmas, and let's hope this is a wonderful new year, different than last.
Oh yeah.
Well, that for us is this race, Peter. I thought it was great that you're back. I really have to say it's a different change when you're doing Formula 2. But when we're in Formula 1, it's all back to normal. So thank you for coming. I want to thank everybody for watching. As we said, Merry Christmas, great New Year. It's going to be an exciting racing year. Thank you all.